Hey there, treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're digging through your couch cushions for spare change, and bam, you find a penny that could be worth $1.1 million. Yep, you heard me right, one little copper coin with no mint mark, minted in 1989, could change your life. Crazy, right? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the story of the 1989 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that's worth more than most people's first car. Stick around, because not only are we going to uncover why this penny is so valuable, but I'll also share some tips on how you can spot one. Oh, and let me tell you a funny story about how my own penny obsession started. Spoiler alert, it involves an embarrassing moment at a yard sale. Alright, let's get into it. Most pennies minted in 1989 have a mint mark, either a D4 Denver or an S4 San Francisco. But if your penny doesn't have any mint mark at all, you might just be holding a jackpot. Why? Because it was minted in Philadelphia, and in 1989, a few of these pennies were struck with a rare, unique error that made them highly collectible. And now, before you go flipping through every penny jar in your house, let me clarify, this isn't just any no mint mark penny. The $1.1 million value comes down to its pristine condition and that rare error. Grading is key here. If your penny has been through the ringer, think scratches, dirt, or someone using it as a makeshift screwdriver, we've all been there, then it's probably worth, well, a penny. This coin's value skyrockets because of a rare die error. Without getting too nerdy, the die is like a stamp used to imprint the coin's design. In 1989, some dies had microscopic irregularities that collectors go bananas for. These pennies are like the Leonardo DiCaprio of coins, highly sought after and aging gracefully. So, how do you know if your 1989 penny is the one? First, check for that missing mint mark. Got it? Great. Now, examine the coin under a magnifying glass or even your phone's camera. Look for details like a sharp strike and no major wear. If your penny looks like it's been chilling in your grandma's cookie jar for decades, you might want to think twice. And here's a pro tip: take it to a professional coin grader. Don't trust your eyes alone, these folks have special equipment and expertise to verify if your penny is legit. Okay, quick story time. A few years ago, I was at this yard sale, and I spotted a box of old coins. Being the coin geek I am, I asked the seller how much. She said, $5 for the whole box. Score, right? So, I bought it, went home, and spent hours sifting through it. Turns out, the most valuable coin I found was worth, drumroll, $3. Yup. I was out $2 and a Saturday. But hey, that's the thrill of the hunt. This taught me two things: 1, always do your homework, and 2, don't eat nachos while sorting coins, you'll end up with salsa on a potential treasure. Alright, folks, let's wrap this up. The 1989 no mint mark Lincoln penny is proof that even the smallest things in life can hold incredible value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who loves a good treasure hunt, it's always worth checking your pocket change. Who knows? Your next Starbucks run might just fund your dream vacation. Now, here's my challenge for you: go grab that jar of coins you've been ignoring and start digging. Found something cool? Let me know in the comments. And hey, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I've got tons of tips, tricks, and stories about coins that could make you rich or at least make you laugh. Hey there, coin enthusiasts. What if I told you a penny, yes, a humble little penny, could make you rich? You heard that right. Today, we're diving into the world of the 2008 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. That's $1 million penny right there. So, grab a cup of coffee, check your spare change jar, and let's talk about how this little copper beauty could change your life. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, I was cleaning out my car because, let's face it, it had turned into a mobile trash bin, and I found a penny under the seat. For a split second, I thought, what if this is one of those rare coins? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But that one moment got me hooked on coin collecting. And who knows? Maybe today's video will spark that same curiosity in you. Alright, let's get into it. The 2008 D mint mark Lincoln penny might look like any other penny at first glance, but it's anything but ordinary. First things first, what makes this coin so special? It's all about rarity and condition. Coins from the Denver Mint in 2008 had a very specific production process. and a tiny fraction of them ended up with unique errors or minting quirks. These quirks can make the difference between a coin that's worth a single cent and one that could buy you a mansion. Now, if you're thinking, great, but what kind of quirks are we talking about? Good question. One of the most common valuable errors is a double die strike. This means the design was accidentally stamped twice, giving letters and numbers a slightly blurry or doubled appearance. Imagine Lincoln's face with a shadow. It's subtle but worth millions. There's also the elusive off-center strike, where the design is misaligned, making the coin look like it had one too many drinks before hitting the minting press. But it's not just about errors. Coins in pristine condition, what collectors call mint state, are incredibly valuable too. If your 2008 D penny looks like it just rolled off the production line, you might be sitting on a gold mine. And by gold mine, I mean $1.2 million. That's enough to retire, buy your dream car, and still have money left over for snacks. Here's a pro tip for spotting a potential jackpot penny: look at the edges. If the rim of your coin is perfectly round and smooth, it could be a winner. Also, pay attention to the shine. A brilliant, uncirculated penny is like the supermodel of the coin world: rare, flawless, and very much in demand. And now, let's address the elephant in the room. Where can you find one of these magical pennies? The good news is, you don't need to be Indiana Jones to track one down. Start by checking your pocket change, those coin jars gathering dust, and even that old piggy bank you forgot about. It's like a treasure hunt, but instead of pirates and maps, you've got your couch cushions and some spare time. But let's be real, not every penny is going to be worth a fortune. That's where professional grading services come in. Companies like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and grade your coin, giving it a certified value. Think of them as the ultimate hype team for your Lincoln penny. So, what's the takeaway here? The 2008 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny isn't just a piece of loose change, it's a potential life changer. Whether it's a double die strike, an off-center error, or just a pristine condition coin, these pennies are proof that big things really do come in small packages. And here's the best part: the next $1 million penny could be sitting in your pocket right now. All it takes is a little curiosity, a sharp eye, and maybe a magnifying glass. Who knew hunting for treasure could be this easy and fun? Before we wrap up, let me ask you something. Are you ready to start your own coin collecting journey? If so, hit that subscribe button and join our community of treasure hunters. We're all about finding coins worth money, sharing tips, and having a good laugh along the way. Oh, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Your support keeps the content coming. Alright, that's it for today, folks. Go check your pennies, and who knows? Maybe you'll be the next millionaire. Hey there, fellow coin lovers. So you've got a 2003 no mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny lying around, and you're wondering, could this little copper nugget actually be worth more than just 1 cent? Well, hold on to your coin jars because I've got some exciting news for you. This penny is worth a lot more than you think, a whopping $1.3 million, and I'm not even kidding. Stick around, because we're about to dive deep into why your pocket change could be the key to unlocking some serious coin treasure. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, wait a minute, I've seen 2003 pennies in my change all the time. How on earth are they worth so much? Well, here's the deal. The 2003 no mint Mark penny is a rare find, and it's no ordinary coin. The reason it's so valuable is because it has a unique error, an extremely rare minting mistake where the mint mark was omitted. Typically, pennies have a small letter on them, either in D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia. But, the 2003 penny with no mint mark? It's like finding a unicorn in a sea of horses. So, how does a penny without a mint mark get valued at $1.3 million? Good question. It's because it's such a rare error. As in, they didn't mean to make these babies without a mint mark, but sometimes mistakes happen. When that happens, coin collectors go wild. A lot of coin hunters will pay top dollar for these rare finds, and that's where your lucky penny could come in. It's worth checking your pocket change, your spare change jar, or that old piggy bank you've been keeping in the back of your closet for years. That forgotten stash could be hiding a goldmine. Now, I've got a funny story for you. When I first learned about these rare pennies, I had to do a double take. I remember scouring my coin collection, thinking I was going to become a millionaire overnight. There I was, getting all excited over what I thought was a mint error penny, only to realize it was just a normal 2003 penny with some dirt on it. I might have been a little disappointed, not gonna lie. But then, a few months later, I found one in my spare change at a coffee shop. Talk about luck. The moral of the story? Keep your eyes peeled, because these things can show up when you least expect it. So, let's break it down. What makes this error so rare? The thing is, the mint usually stamps a mint mark to show where the coin was made. Normally, pennies will come with either a P for Philadelphia or D for Denver. But in this case, a batch of 2003 pennies slipped through the cracks without that little mark. No one knows exactly how many were made, but that makes the ones that survived even more valuable. Coin collectors are willing to pay serious money for these types of errors because they represent a piece of history, and let's be real, who doesn't love being a part of history? Here's where it gets even juicier. You might be thinking, okay, I'll just Google 2003 no mint mark penny for sale and sell it for a cool million. Slow down, my friend. Not every 2003 penny with no mint mark is worth the big bucks. The condition of the penny plays a huge part in its value. If it's in poor shape, scratched, bent, or covered in coffee stains, don't ask me how I know, it's not going to fetch top dollar. The best ones are in mint condition, with a clear strike, and no signs of wear and tear. So, if you find a 2003 penny with no mint mark, it's time to get excited. But remember, condition is key. Mint condition coins are where the real money is. And just like that, you could be holding on to a coin worth $1.3 million, or at least be closer to that jackpot than you ever thought possible. And now, if you're feeling lucky and want to keep learning about valuable coins, I've got you covered. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, because I'm constantly diving into all kinds of coins that could make you a fortune. Who knows? The next penny you come across might just be your ticket to the Coin Hall of Fame. And hey, if you find something crazy, let me know in the comments. I love hearing about everyone's coin adventures. Hey there, fellow coin collectors and penny enthusiasts. If you've ever dug through your spare change and thought, could this random penny be worth a fortune? Well, you're not alone. But today, I've got a story and a coin that might just change the way you look at your pocket change forever. Picture this, the year is 1981. The world is rocking mullets, neon clothes, and, of course, a particular penny that could be worth $1.4 million today. Yes, you heard me right, the 1981 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Now, I know what you're thinking, it's just a penny. How could that be worth more than my coffee order? Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be eyeing your pennies with a new sense of wonder, and maybe a little bit of regret if you've been tossing them into the jar for years. So buckle up, folks, it's time to dive into this shiny little treasure and find out why it's a big deal in the world of coin collecting. Alright, let's break it down. We're talking about the 1981 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Now, usually, pennies have a mint mark, which tells us where they were made. But not this one. The 1981 penny without a mint mark was released by the US Mint and has become a rare find for collectors. What makes it stand out? Well, the most obvious thing is that it was produced without a mint mark, and that's part of what makes it so valuable today. Here's the catch: while most pennies from 1981 are, well, just pennies, like 1 cent, to be exact, this particular penny is worth a lot more because it's one of those oops coins, a rarity in the world of currency. The 1981 no mint mark penny didn't make it into regular circulation like other pennies, but a few of these mistakes slipped through the cracks. Coin collectors, being the savvy individuals they are, jumped at the chance to grab one of these up when they appeared on the market. Fast forward to today, and we're talking about a penny that could sell for around $1.40 million. Now, hold on a second, I know what you're thinking again, but how would I even know if I have one of these 1981 no mint mark pennies? Don't worry, it's easier than you think. If you come across a 1981 penny that's not marked with a mint mark, like the one you're holding right now, well, if you have one, it's a great sign. But here's where it gets fun: these pennies aren't easy to spot in your change. They were super rare back then, and they're even rarer now. I want to share a quick personal story about when I first started coin collecting. Back in the day, I found what I thought was a treasure trove of rare coins in my grandmother's attic. Among them was a collection of pennies, some shiny, some not so much. And let me tell you, I thought I had found my retirement fund right then and there. So I went to a coin shop, full of excitement, only to learn that most of my treasures were worth a few bucks, if that. But one coin stood out, an old 1969 penny with an odd mark that wasn't supposed to be there. After doing some research, I realized it was a minor minting error that made it worth a lot more than a regular penny. Now, every time I find a penny, I feel a little tinge of excitement. Could it be another surprise like the 1981 no mint mark Lincoln penny? Now, imagine the thrill you'd get finding a penny worth more than your car. Alright, maybe not your car, but definitely more than a few weeks' worth of coffee. The 1981 no mint mark penny's value could vary based on its condition and other factors like how many are left in circulation. But if you've got a clean, well-preserved one in your collection, there's a pretty good chance you're holding a small fortune in your hands. Here's a pro tip: if you do find one, you'll want to make sure it's graded and authenticated by a professional coin grader. The condition of the penny, also known as its grade, plays a huge role in how much it could be worth. Coins that are in excellent condition, no nicks, no scratches, could fetch the highest price. And remember, it's not just about finding the coin, it's about taking care of it like it's made of gold. Because, let's face it, to collectors, it kind of is. Alright, I know what you're thinking now. Okay, so what do I do next? Start searching through all the pennies I have in my pocket? Well, maybe not all of them, but definitely take a good look at those 1981 pennies. You never know when that one penny you thought was just another shiny copper coin could turn into your very own little treasure worth $1.40 million. And hey, if you want to stay on top of all the latest and greatest tips on coin collecting, whether it's finding rare coins or learning what strategies could make you a coin millionaire, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I've got a ton more valuable coin content coming your way, and I wouldn't want you to miss out on the chance to cash in on your pocket change. Hey, coin lovers! Let me ask you a quick question. Have you ever thought a penny could change your life? I'm talking about one that's not just worth 1 cent, but millions. Yup, today we're diving into a rare gem that could be hiding in your pocket or even your jar of loose change, the 1994 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. And guess what? This little penny has a current market value of about $1.5 million. I know, it sounds crazy, but stick with me, because by the end of this video, you might just run to check your coin collection. Alright, let's break this down and make it clear why this little copper wonder is worth so much. So, you're probably asking, what makes this penny so special? Great question. First off, the no mint mark part of the equation is what sets it apart. Mint marks are the tiny letters found on a coin that show where it was produced. For most pennies, you'll find them marked with a D4 Denver or an S4 San Francisco, but in 1994, some pennies were minted without any mint mark at all. Now, before you go thinking all 1994 pennies are worth a fortune, here's the catch: only a few of them were struck in this way, making them incredibly rare. The fact that they weren't meant to be released like this is what makes them stand out. And trust me, the rarity and condition of these coins matter more than you might think. There are people out there who are willing to pay a lot of cash for something like this. Imagine finding one of these in your spare change, and boom, you've just got yourself a small fortune. So how do you know if your 1994 penny is the real deal? Well, first off, take a good look at the coin. It'll be hard to spot a mint mark, but it should be clearly missing. And then, of course, you'll want to make sure it's in great condition. The better the condition, the higher the price. The coin's value skyrockets when it's almost flawless. I actually have a funny story about this. I was at a flea market last year, just browsing through random boxes of coins, nothing special, just the usual old stuff you might expect. I came across a seller who was asking a couple of bucks for a 1994 penny. I thought, what the heck, why not, because hey, it's a penny, right? Turns out, the seller didn't know what they had. I didn't realize it at the time, but that penny was a 1994 no mint mark. If only I had known. I could have been flipping burgers on my private island by now. That's the one that got away. Moral of the story? Never underestimate what you might find, and always do your research. Alright, back to the topic at hand. If you've got your hands on a 1994 no mint mark penny, you're sitting on a goldmine. Okay, not literally gold, but it could fetch around $1.5 million in the right condition. Imagine that. And the crazy thing is, people out there are looking for these specific coins every single day, hoping to strike it rich. There are even collectors who specialize in these rarities, but before you get all excited and start running to check your wallet, let's keep it real. Finding one of these is still a bit of a long shot. If you've got one in your collection, congratulations. you've got yourself a little treasure. But if not, don't worry. There are tons of other rare coins to keep your eye on. So, there you have it. The 1994 no-mint mark penny, worth a cool $1.5 million if you're lucky enough to have one. It's a coin that proves how crazy the world of coin collecting can be, and how you never know when you might stumble upon a small fortune. And honestly, it's moments like these that remind me how awesome it is to be part of this coin nerd community. Before you go rushing to check your pennies, though, do me a solid, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'll keep bringing you more tips on coins worth money, strategies for collecting, and how to spot those hidden treasures. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on any of the future gems we'll be uncovering together. And hey, if you've ever found something crazy in your change, drop me a comment below. I'd love to hear your stories. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm about to blow your mind with a little gem that you might have been carrying around in your pocket without even knowing its worth. Now, I know what you're thinking, a penny? Really? But trust me, the 2006 mint mark Lincoln penny is more than just pocket change. It's worth a cool $1.6 million, and I'm about to tell you exactly why. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, potentially worth more than your car, or at least your lunch at that fancy coffee shop you like. Stick with me, and I'll break it all down in this 20-minute deep dive, alright? Grab a seat, take out your wallets, and let's talk about why this little piece of copper is such a big deal. So, let's start with the basics. The 2006 mint mark Lincoln penny. What's so special about it? Well, if you're just now joining the world of coin collecting, you might be wondering why a coin from 2006 could be worth anything at all. It's not like we're talking about a rare 1909 VDB penny or a 1943 copper penny. So, what gives the 2006 penny, produced by the Denver Mint, isn't rare in terms of how many were made? Actually, millions of these little coins were struck and shipped into circulation. But here's where the magic happens. Certain 2006 pennies have been found with unique and rare qualities that make them much more valuable than you might think. You see, it's not just about the coin itself but also about the rarity of certain minting errors, rare variants, and how collectors just really like finding diamonds in the rough. You know how when you go to a garage sale, and you find that one old chair that's kind of wobbly, a bit dusty, and covered in mystery stains? But then someone comes along, sees its true potential, and it turns out to be an antique worth a few $1,000s? Well, that's kind of what happened with these pennies. Not all of them are worth that much, but a few rare ones, especially ones with specific minting errors, are now fetching a whopping $1.6 million at auction. Let's talk about the minting error that makes some of these pennies so valuable. Most 2006 pennies are perfectly fine. But a small number were struck with a double die, which means the design was stamped more than once, leading to some distinct errors. If you find a 2006 penny with a noticeable double die error, it's like hitting the jackpot. These pennies are rare, and when auctioned off, they can fetch prices that are hard to believe for something so small. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, okay, great, but how do I find one? Well, here's where the fun begins. I'll share a personal story with you. Back in the day, I used to spend hours sifting through jars of coins at yard sales, hoping to find something that would make me a millionaire. It was like looking for a needle in a haystack, but without the haystack or the needle. You get what I mean, right? Anyway, one day I found an old jar of pennies, just like you'd expect to find in your grandpa's basement, and I thought, what the heck? I might as well check this out. I started sorting through them, flipping them over one by one, and bam, I found a 2006 penny that just looked different. My heart raced, and I was like, could this be the one? I rushed over to my phone, Googled it, and sure enough, there it was, the double die error. I didn't know whether to jump up and down or faint. Now, no, mine wasn't worth $1.6 million, but it was definitely a wake-up call for me. That penny had some serious value, and the moment I realized that, I was hooked on coin hunting. So, what should you do if you find a 2006 penny that you think could be valuable? First, don't go spending it right away. Take a closer look, compare it to images of verified double die error pennies online, and maybe even take it to a professional coin dealer. If it passes the test, you could be sitting on a gold mine. Or, in this case, a copper mine, but you get the idea. One thing to keep in mind is that the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. The better the condition, the more it's worth. So, if you happen to find a 2060 penny with that double die error in mint condition, you're really looking at something that could make your entire day or even year. Just like any investment, condition is king, and hey, don't be discouraged if you don't find one right away. It's kind of like fishing. Sometimes you cast your line all day and get nothing, but that one big catch makes it all worth it, alright? So there you have it. The 2006 Mint Mark Lincoln penny may look like just another coin, but with the right condition and a potential minting error, it could be worth a lot more than you think. So, check your piggy banks, your spare change, and those old jars of coins you've been holding onto for years. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep learning about coins worth big money, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on future tips, tricks, and strategies for finding valuable coins. Who knows? Maybe your next lucky find will be worth a fortune. As always, thanks for tuning in, and happy hunting! See you in the next video, where we'll dive into even more coin treasures hiding in plain sight. Don't forget to like, share, and comment below with your coin hunting stories. I love hearing about your finds. Imagine walking into your local coin shop, casually flipping through some pennies, and bam! You find a 1968 Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny sitting there, and suddenly, your heart races. What if I told you that this humble penny could be worth a whopping $1.7 million? No, this isn't a typo, and I'm not trying to sell you a dream here. Stick around as we dive into the value of this surprisingly valuable coin and how you might just have a hidden treasure sitting in your pocket. Alright, let's break it down. The 1968 Lincoln penny is part of the famous Lincoln penny series, which has been around since 1909. But why does the 1968 stand out? Well, it's mostly because of a little minting error or a variety that makes this penny so special. It's from the Denver Mint, as indicated by the Mint mark, and it's one of those coins that, when you find it, could make you feel like you've stumbled upon a piece of history. And now, you might be wondering, what makes it worth so much? And no, it's not just because Abraham Lincoln's face is on it, though that definitely helps. The coin has an error, or in some cases, certain features that make it more collectible than the typical pennies produced that year. People who collect rare coins, known as numismatists, love to get their hands on these varieties. The rarity of this specific coin combined with its appeal to collectors has driven its value up to $1.7 million for the highest quality examples. But here's the thing with coin values, it's all about condition. I mean, you wouldn't expect to sell your 1990s Beanie Babies for top dollar if they were dirty, with a missing tag, and covered in dust, right? Same concept here. A 1968 penny in mint condition, which means almost no wear or signs of use, can fetch you quite a lot of money. On the other hand, a penny that's been tossed around in a jar for years won't come close to that $1 million value. Collectors use a grading scale for coins, and the highest grade for a 1968 Lincoln penny is MS67, mint state. This means the coin looks as if it just came out of the mint yesterday, no wear, sharp details, and perfect surfaces. These high-grade pennies are the ones worth more, and if you ever come across one in your change jar, trust me, hold on to it. Because you never know when a collector is going to come knocking, and when they do, you'll be the one laughing all the way to the bank. Speaking of coin finds, let me tell you about a time I stumbled across a ridiculously rare coin by accident. It wasn't a 1968 penny, but it was another one of those "how in the world is this even here" moments. I was at a garage sale, yes, a garage sale, like a true treasure hunter, and I spotted an old jar full of coins. For a couple of bucks, I thought, why not? Turns out, hidden among the piles of old nickels and dimes, I found a 1937 Buffalo nickel in near mint condition. It was worth hundreds of dollars, and I was like, is this real life? If you've never experienced that feeling of finding something valuable in the most unexpected place, let me tell you, it's like finding the golden ticket in a chocolate bar, but for adults. Okay, so now that we know a 1968 Lincoln penny could be worth big bucks, how do you identify one? It's easy, just look for that mint mark. If the mint mark is visible beneath Lincoln's memorial on the reverse side of the coin, you've got yourself a 1968 penny. Now, go ahead and inspect the condition. If it's worn down with scratches or signs of being in a jar of pennies for decades, the value isn't going to be much. But if it's shiny, with strong, clear details, you're looking at something that could turn out to be a gold mine. Here's a little secret: rare coins like these are hidden in plain sight. They don't just appear in expensive coin shops. Nope, They could be hiding in your spare change jar, tucked away in your pocket, or lying in a pile of pennies at your local store. So, while you're out there grabbing your morning coffee, just remember, take a second to check your change. You never know, the penny you almost toss might be the one that makes you an overnight millionaire. So, to wrap it up, the 1968 D. Lincoln penny may seem like just another coin, but if you've got one in mint condition, it could potentially make you a lot of money, like $1.7 million, folks. So the next time you're digging through your pocket change, don't just toss that penny away. You might be holding on to something that could change your life. Before I go, if you want more tips on rare coins, how to spot valuable pennies, and all things coin collecting, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the crew. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next hidden treasure. Remember, it's not always about how much you find, it's about knowing what you find. Hey there, coin enthusiasts. Ever thought that a penny could change your life? No, seriously. Imagine strolling around, and you find a coin that's worth a small fortune, like $1.8 million. Sounds like a dream, right? But it's not. We're talking about the 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Yeah, that little copper coin you probably ignored in your pocket change. Stick with me, because today, I'm going to show you why this tiny penny could actually be worth more than your car, your vacation, and maybe even your rent. Alright, let's break it down. First, you've probably heard of the usual valuable coins, the rare 1943 pennies or the 1969 double-die penny, but the 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? It's like the underdog of the coin world. If this penny were a movie character, it'd be Rocky Balboa, unassuming at first, but capable of delivering a knockout punch. So, why is this penny worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million? Let's start with the basics. The 1978 penny, produced by the U.S. Mint, is your typical Lincoln cent made of copper-plated zinc. But what sets this particular coin apart is that it lacks the mint mark. Mint marks are those tiny letters on coins, telling you where they were made. Most pennies have a D4 Denver or an S4 San Francisco. But this 1978 penny? It's blank, no mint mark. And that small detail makes it incredibly rare and desirable to collectors. Now, I know what you're thinking, I've got a bunch of pennies, but they don't look like they're worth millions. That's because the 1978 no mint mark penny didn't just slip off the production line and land in your change jar. It's a mistake. A minting error, if you will. And those mistakes? Well, they can sometimes lead to big-time money. Imagine the factory line worker who said, "Oops, missed a mint mark." Little did they know they were setting the stage for a coin worth a fortune, and let me tell you, finding one of these isn't easy. These coins are super rare. There are only a few known to exist, and that's why the market for them is so hot. We're talking about a coin that could make you a millionaire, but you'll need eagle eyes and a bit of luck. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but I'm not going to find one just lying around, right? Well, that's true. But here's a story. One time, I was going through some loose change, just mindlessly sorting pennies, nickels, and dimes. Then I found one, a 1978 penny. It had no mint mark. My heart raced for a second, thinking I had found my golden ticket, but then, it turned out to be a regular one, nothing special. However, the excitement of thinking I had struck gold? That moment alone was worth it. I mean, who wouldn't want to find a $1.8 million penny just lying around? But let's not get too discouraged. Sometimes, these things happen when you least expect them. So here's the deal, if you ever come across a 1978 penny, don't just toss it aside. Give it a second glance. It could be the mistake that makes you rich. So, to wrap things up, the 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny is one of those rare, hidden gems in the coin world. While it's unlikely to find one under your couch cushions or in your change jar, it's worth knowing about. If you happen to stumble upon one, you could be holding onto a coin worth $1.8 million. And hey, it might just be the jackpot you didn't know you were waiting for. If you enjoyed this little journey through the world of rare coins, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on future tips and tricks about coins that could be hiding in your own collection. I'll be back with more stories, more tips, and definitely more laughs. Until next time, happy hunting, and keep checking those pennies. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you never miss out on a future video about coins that could make you a millionaire. See you soon.